Brightest blessings, everyone. Today, I want to do a video on drunk driving. Now, don't get me wrong. I despise drunk driving, and I despise even more drunk drivers. I don't have a problem if you drink. I don't have a problem if you have a good time. What I have a problem with is if you impair your judgment with alcohol and or drugs and get on the road and put others in danger. Now, if you want to kill yourself, go ahead, kill yourself. That's on you, okay? But my attitude is, how dare you, how the hell dare you put other people's lives in danger because you want to get out and drive after you've had a good time with drugs and or alcohol. You have no right to do that, period. And I think that you should be punished severely if you do. Now, I am having a problem with some of the drunk driving laws, however. I agree. They should be heavy, and they should be just as heavy as they are now. I have no problem with that. Now, I had heard in the past about this, and I really did not believe people. I don't know, because I don't drink and drive. Yes, I do drink on occasion. I have never drove drunk, though. If we haven't decided who's going to be the designated driver, even if I wanted to go out and have a good time and drink, if I found that everyone I'm out with has already been drinking, I might be a little pissed, but I'm not going to drink because I am that much against it. But recently I received a ticket, and because of that I had to go to I basically had to go to driver's ed, basically, to get it off my record. So that's what I did. And I found, after going to the driver's school, that what these people were saying was actually true. And if this is the case, I'm totally against it. You see, I thought basically it was people making excuses. Well, you can get a drunk driving conviction and you don't even have to be driving drunk, which I thought was an excuse, basically. And so therefore I didn't believe them. I just thought they were blowing smoke and making excuses so people didn't think they were actually driving drunk. And so I didn't believe them. And I was actually a little mad at them. But after going to the driver school, basically, so I could get the points taken off my license, and so I didn't have to pay extra for my insurance and everything, I learned a lot of things. And one of them is, you don't even have to drive drunk to be able to be charged with a DUI. How fucked up is that? I think it's screwed up that they wait for you in outside of bar parking lots. Yeah, it's a little rough, but you're out drinking and you need to get home. It's your job to be able to provide some sort of a designated driver. And if you can't, then you need to pay for a taxi or the subway or some other form of public transportation. You have to make arrangements like this in advance. And if not, then you get popped for DUI, as you should. But I heard, and it was confirmed in my class, that this is true. That if you're walking with keys in your hand in a parking lot, you can get stopped for drunk driving there. What? You're not even in the fucking car. Maybe you have keys in the car to throw things in the car with. Doesn't mean that you're going to be driving it. Maybe you want to sleep it off, and you're going in the back to sleep it off. But did you know you could also get popped for drunk driving if you do that? If you take your keys, get in the back seat, and lay down and sleep it off, you could still get popped for drunk driving. And the reason why is because you can technically have the ability to still be able to drive the car because you have the keys. Doesn't mean shit that you're in the back seat and not the front seat. Doesn't mean shit that you're not even in the driver's seat. Doesn't mean shit that the keys are not even in the ignition, let alone that the car has not even started. They can pop you for drunk driving because you have keys and you are in a vehicle, which makes it possible for you to be able to drive the vehicle at some point in time when you're drunk. That makes no fucking sense to me. Have you ever been popped for stealing something in a store and not been stealing anything in the store? You walked in and you had a big old purse. That's like saying you could get popped right there for stealing things. Not because you were stealing anything, but because you had the ability to do so. Or, why is anybody even allowed to take a karate class? Because you could get popped for murder right there. Not because you murdered anyone or even hurt anybody, but because you had the ability to do so. How stupid does that sound? Nobody would take that shit. Nobody. We would have riots in the streets if that had happened. And why does it not happen? Because nobody would put up with that shit. But people put up with it for drunk driving because no one's going to speak up against it. I want to let people know that don't drive drunk, that don't drive after one drink, that you can still get popped for DUI. And I want you to stand up and do something about it, because I am. I want to let people know that this shit happens. Oh my God. So what are we going to do about it? We are not the lawmakers, but we do elect the lawmakers. So we have to stand up and speak with our lawmakers. I'm not saying make DUI less of an offense. I'm not saying treat them with softer gloves. I'm saying at least make them be guilty of an offense before you arrest them for it and have it on their record. I want drunk drivers prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And even though they are prosecuted pretty harshly, I would not even have a problem if they wanted to make it even more harsh. However, I certainly want them guilty of the crime before we are able to convict them of that crime. And that is my rant today. My bitch box. Blessed be everyone.